This photo, as all the photos of Dad, are really special, but this one is especially special because this is when we were in Hawaii to spread Mom's ashes about 3 years ago. And while we were there, Dad started feeling really sick a couple mornings before this. And so we went ahead and spread Mom's ashes. And literally, this is like one of the nicest hotels in Hawaii. It's called the Kahala Hilton. And Mom and Dad and the family would always go there, for many, many years. And so where Dad's sitting right now, just off to the left, there's this beautiful little peninsula that went out. It had just the most gorgeous palm trees and just a beautiful, beautiful little walk. And that's where David and I went and spread Mom's ashes. So it's sort of, I guess unique or ironic that this is the picture that we wanted to share for Dad's gathering. Being that it's one of our favorites, it's in one of his favorite places on earth. He's got a drink in his hand. That was one of the best days we've had with Dad in a very long time at the beach. Yeah. So that's where that picture was taken. So you're gonna have to excuse me because as Dad always said, as Dad always said, I'm often lost for words. So excuse me before I prepare my speech is done through my phone, as we do these days. So first of all, I wanted to thank you all for being here with us today to celebrate Dad's extraordinary life. This is what Dad wanted us to do, and we're going to oblige to the very best of our ability. So we greatly appreciate you being here, as Dad would as well. We had many conversations with Dad about this special moment, and although of course it would be so much more special if Dad were here with us physically, he's certainly here with us mentally, spiritually, and in our hearts. A lot of us have also shared many great times with Dad, including some of those being here at the Swan as well. So as most of you know, Dad's amazing life journey began just down the street from here, where he was born in the living room on Summer Road on April 13th, 1941. And so we thought it was only right that we would celebrate his life in the same place he often celebrated growing up, or just where he drank heavily after a long day laying tile. Fast forwarding through Dad's first half of Dad's life here in England, which he thoroughly enjoyed, to the year 1976, and only 6 months after I was born, Dad decided to make a huge leap, probably taking the biggest gamble of life, moving to Las Vegas and starting his own business again, King Richard's Tile Shop. I often think what a major and brave moment that must have been, especially considering his 2 little boys and all of our family being here in England. So Dad started all over again with a fresh start in Vegas and was very successful in his tiling business until he did this really large project for a custom home. And the homeowner decided whilst King Richard did a perfect job, he wasn't going to pay for Dad and his hard work. He wasn't going to pay for the job. This client was in the mafia. So unfortunately, Dad soon realized this was a huge debt that he was not going to be able to collect. So with that, he closed King Richard's Tile Shop. Next, he fell into the banking business. He met a woman on the chairlift while skiing one weekend, and she felt that with his good looks, charm, personality, and British accent, that he would do well lending money to doctors, lawyers, and casino executives. So he did just that for the remainder of his working career. He did extremely well, winning and achieving a multitude of awards and accolades along the way, right up until the time he took an early retirement in 1999. During, this is crazy because this is exactly what prayer did when I was in Mom's Eulogy, so this is really weird, by the way. Remember that, Des? Wow. How did she think of that? So Mom's Eulogy. When I was in Mom's Eulogy, prayer came out of nowhere. I was standing on stage and she came up and started dancing on stage next to me. And didn't want to grab me or anything, she just started dancing on stage, which was really a special moment considering Mom's background in dance. So anyways, during Dad's much enjoyed retirement years, he traveled the world to places like Sydney, Australia for the Olympics, Hawaii, all over the Caribbean, as well as many family cruise trips, as this was our family favorite. In addition to all the travel, Dad was crazy about watching football, American and English, track and field, and boxing. Also during Dad's retirement, he moved into our house to be even closer, if that was even possible, with his family. With this move, he was often served home-cooked meals prepared with love by his personal chef and my wife, Desi. And as another big bonus, he got to be with his grandkids every day, which he adored. As you all know, Dad was incredibly close with Damon and I, and was also our best friend. It was also my best man at my wedding, which makes this process so much more difficult to accept. But he was also very close with Desiree, as she was a daughter to Mom and Dad that they never had. And the same goes for Desiree, as she lost her stepfather at a young age, so Dad really was like her own father rather than just her father-in-law. Last but certainly not least, he was head over heels for his grandkids' career and cruise. He was able to play with them daily, and they were truly the instrumental support he needed in keeping his fight for life. The only thing he didn't like was the fact that Carrera would beat him pretty much every single day they played any card game. He really tried to beat her and just couldn't. In the last year, Dad was desperate to get home here to see all of you, as he knew he wasn't getting any better from his illness. But unfortunately, it was just too much for him to get back home. And so now here we are today, as his wishes were to be cremated and have his ashes spread with his mom and dad, which we are doing this week. Sit down. Thank you. He really loved his brother Norman, his sister Gloria, and really enjoyed the talks and FaceTime that him and Gloria shared over the last few months of his life. As you all well know, we also lost our mom 6 years ago, but when Mom first got sick, I called upon Dad to give a new ask for his help. He said, "Yes, son, whatever you need." So I asked him to be there for Mom, to help her through this trying time, and he had absolutely no problem with it, and was an amazing support to Mom over those next 2 years. I will never forget that, and I'll be forever grateful. As we all know, Dad definitely had a zest for life and lived it to its fullest potential. He was often known as the life of the party, a really hard worker, and most importantly to him, a loving and caring family man. He absolutely loved each and every one of us here today and would want us all to know that. I always told Mom and Dad that my biggest goal in life is to be sure to create and develop that same relationship that we have with them now with our kids. I also told Dad that our unbreakable bond was for eternity and that it will only be hard on the ones left behind, and that we will rejoice again in the future. What we have is unique and more than just special, and again, we'll be forever grateful. Most people in this position of time and sadness are even more upset because they either didn't have the chance or were apprehensive to tell their lost family member that one last thing that they really wanted to say. I can proudly say that was not the case for us. We always had conversations about how much we loved each other, how much we missed each other, whilst it had only been a few hours since we saw each other last. I can't tell you how many phone calls, cards, letters, text messages we received, and the most common comments were, "What a gentleman," and "how sweet and kind Dad was to all." I am the man I am today because of how Mom and Dad raised me, and now although I feel that we are too young to not have them here with us, I will do my absolute best to take advantage of this incredible journey and gift that they worked so hard, tirelessly, and sacrificed for Damon and I. Right now it's still real difficult. It's still real difficult, and that will never go away. But I know in the future, Damon and I will greatly appreciate one of the more special moments. Those are the last moments of Dad's life, where my brother and I were each holding his hands in his last moments. And he truly went the way anyone would want to go. And no pain, no stress, not really any acknowledgement, but right there with his two boys, holding his hands. What a special moment that was. Lastly, most importantly, I want to thank Dad for not only being my best friend, but also being the best father I could ever wish for or imagine. We love you, Dad, with all of our hearts. Please continue to love, cherish, and charm all of our loved ones that you are now with, and will look until we join you in the future. Love you, and God bless you, Dad. And I would like to have everybody please raise their glasses for one of the most important toasts I've ever made in my entire life. Richie! Cheers, guys. Thank you guys for coming. I know it's like a 1 week's notice. But there's a reason for that between our schedules and Carrera, just getting out of school, and it was really hard to try to get everything to fit together. What a whirlwind in 6 days. We literally booked our trip, I think 7 nights ago. We got here 2 days ago. 60 people here. It's just unbelievable. And that's all, credit to our family for that. If anyone else wanted to share anything, you're more than welcome to share us a funny story or words or anything. No pressure.
He always said, I mean, whatever you all cup of tea.
I'll always be his little dick to the big dick.
And this is Cruz Richard Baker, my son.
Good name.
He's carrying on the Dick name. And Claire used to always call Grandpa Dick Willie Wilfred, which he was not always so pleased with. That really was his name, Richard Wilfred Baker. So she's had a lot of fun with that. What did he always say to you, Dick? Less of the dick, more of the willy? Something like that. But thank you guys so much for coming. This is so special. I can't even tell you how crazy this is. I mean, we got here and the rapid response and everyone just happened like that. I mean, it's just amazing. I know not all of you live right around the corner either, so we can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys coming here and spending this special moment with us.
Thank you guys so much.
Dad would be crazy proud.
I think he's definitely looking down, having a good time right now. With a Bacardi Coke or a beer in his hand, and just wishing he was here, with all of us, obviously. And it's sad to say that I think we should all get together more often versus bad times like this, because life is so short, and it's so good to see all your family. It's incredible. I love you all. Thank you very much for coming. I really do appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much.
Those of you who don't, I think most of you met Roy. Just to give you a little history, I'm sure you'll give it anyways. Roy's my dad's closest
I haven't
friend.
vanished, but I heard from here. I met Richard in this bar in 1961 when we were both teenagers. In those days, you could drive into the car park here, and I had what I thought was the cat's whisker and TR3 sports car, and Richard had a Sprite, so we used to look down on him. Right? And he has to get a jacket. So he put us down, and through our lives, we went through trying to upgrade each other by having just better cars or better houses or better situations. Married a lady called Beryl, and we lost touch. And the next one I saw him, I was out in Las Vegas, I was trying to see him, and he said, there's a guy down the street near you, his name is Richard Baker. I said, the newsreader. And he goes, no, from Thames.
I think Richard Baker as well. So I went through my entire life.
Right. Now, there's probably a guy from Thames Ditton living in Las Vegas that knows me. I've never been there before. Anyway, Seaton walked us down the street, and there was this one in his nappies, about 6 months old, and this one was about 4, and there was Carol, and there was Richard again. And from that moment on, we became friends. And I lived in LA. We used to visit every Christmas and every holiday and all the rest of it. And we try and upstage each other again. I got a Cadillac, he got a new Cadillac. He got a jacket, I'm going to get a new jacket. So we tease each other. I'm going to piss him off.
You got another wife, he got another wife. True story.
But what did I do? One Christmas, I think they were about 10 years old, I brought them a drum kit. That was me, right? Yeah. He said, you bastard, what are we to do? Who do we hear at 6 o'clock in the morning playing the drums? Richard in his dressing gown. Anyway, we went on to be friends, and I saw him about a week before he passed. You missed him again.
You also know Auntie Gloria, unfortunately, is in rehab right now, so she's going to be here.
Not the drugs or alcohol. Not the drugs or alcohol.
No, right.
Not rehab. You rather put that
It was really important for us to have, obviously we wanted to do it here because Dad was born right down, literally down the street. Auntie Gloria, we've always been extremely close with her. Dad loved her like crazy. And we got them to FaceTime and talk on the phone quite a few times. And so it's really important for us to have her here. So we had to make a really hard decision because she was supposed to be out of the hospital, out of rehab, not drug rehab, in a week or two. So the timing sort of just worked out perfectly other than that. And then we thought to ourselves, if we do this, push it another week or 2 weeks later, you know, a lot of our family members booked their summer holidays around us coming here. So then we would probably have like, you know, not even 3/4 the amount of people here. So it didn't really work out, but we went and saw Auntie Gloria yesterday, and we're going to do a big dinner and take her up to her house, or she's flying up to, we'll come back here with Uncle Ken on his motor scooter.
He'll beat you up then.
Hopefully, just get a DUI going home. But anyways, cheers to that. Thank you guys so much for coming. Well, thank you all. Help yourselves some drinks and stay as long as we're here for a while. Family. We can do so much stuff family. Over all the years, like I wish we had time to, but all of these here, they're all for the taking. So if anyone feels like you want to take a little thing with, you know, picture your dad or whatever, these are all for everybody to take.